We call it the Analytics Insider because you bring speakers who are leaders in their fields to talk about a theme that is central to the evolution of analytics in practice. How does it change lives? And how does it work in organizations? The topic for today, as you know, is privacy and personalization. And what we mean is how can we achieve both objectives? And each of these speakers have prepared their comments, their opinions, and their vision of what it could be from the perspective of their industry and their individual perspective as well.
So I was just thinking, going through all this, these really interesting talks, the disadvantage of going forth is everything I want to talk about has already been talked about. So what am I going to say? But I think what I'll do is I'll give a little perspective on the banking industry and with some examples and how personalization and privacy, what the considerations are. This is an example where we will use, if you deposit money with us, then of course the amount that you deposit drives the interest rate and the terms. But then we use a ton of individualized data, like what is your individual rate sensitivity? So if interest rates go up, how much of that do we have to increase so that you will not go to a competitor? Sure. We use a ton of different data, and all this goes into an algorithm and changes. We would like to make it daily, but for now it changes weekly. But ton of data, ton of algorithmic work that goes in and to determine what is the price we should give to an individual customer. But I think from a privacy perspective, our clients kind of expect us, and I want to introduce this concept of customer expectations around privacy. So our clients expect us to use information and data to provide personalized pricing and to optimize our financial results. So in that sense, the privacy consideration is relatively low. There isn't a concern that we are using all this information to optimize pricing. I'll give another example. This is more around marketing. So what offers do we give to our clients? So historically, we were doing product-based offers, meaning if product one was more profitable to us or just was going to lead to a more loyal customer, we would promote that ahead of product 4. We have now used more data and more knowledge about our customers, and we're moving to client-centric pricing. So what that means is we won't necessarily offer product 1, product 2, product 3 in that order. We will customize. Today we might offer a mortgage loan if you go to our website as soon as you authenticate. Tomorrow we may offer a savings product because you just received your tax refund, and we can see that in the transactions. So here the privacy consideration is a little bit higher because customers may wonder, and they may not necessarily they may just have a higher level of sensitivity to how we are able to detect whether you have received a tax refund or whether your home is up for a refinance. So really, I'll just leave some thoughts around using all this data and using AI is generally, I'm an optimist, just like was mentioned here before. I think the power of AI and data is generally better for customers. I do think it comes with responsibility, and especially for banks, because really customer data is our most important asset. I mean, that is, yes, we have branches, and yes, we have websites, and we have employees, but data is information is what really makes us provide valuable services. So I want to use this concept of data stewardship, and we have to be really good stewards of the data that customers entrust us with.
And then you've got location data, and then point of sale systems then are able to take your individual credit card number and track what you buy at Kroger's and things like that. So then, as a consumer, where's the direction and the value of all of my transactional data headed? What sort of insights can be gleaned that will benefit me to continue using a credit card through KeyBank or something like that?
Really what we're doing is we are mining all this data and where you're shopping or what money is coming into your account, and we're starting to provide insights into personalized insights. So for example, if you sign up for alerts, you may get an alert that your credit card payment is due, not just your credit card with KeyBank, but any of your credit cards, because once you've set it up to us to link your other credit cards, so then you can avoid a late fee. And I think that's very useful information that, if you have a payment due today, you want to make the payment due today so you don't have the late fee. Or we are starting to build summarized insights. Last month you spent $300 at Starbucks, and by the way, your emergency savings is, I'm not saying you, but a customer, is relatively low. Maybe you want to think about finding a cheaper coffee shop or having coffee every alternate day. I don't know. So and then you can build up your emergency savings. I mean, a surprising number of people in the US don't have emergency savings. So that's the kind of personalized insights that we're using to drive your wellness.